Tad, look, everybody. Scott has his barn door open.
No! I'm going to open my barn wedding venue later this year.
Oh, and then you'll have your barn doors open.
Whatever. Hey, I can be silly also. Just wait for my genuine positivity message.
Yep. And we are very sad with all the celebrities passing lately, especially Luke Perry, Johnny Thompson, Marshall Brodien, and Michael Vincent. Welcome to What Happened in the World Today. I'm Steve.
And I'm Scott. And this is a tale of how bad life decisions led to, yes, a YouTube show.
And we're going to talk about what we've noticed is going on in the world today. And what I've noticed is going on in the world today is we talk about stuff and then forget to talk about it on the show. Yeah, just my camera. So first things first, let's talk about what's going on behind you.
Well.
Is that a red-tailed squirrel or is there something?
Just a gray squirrel.
What's the red thing?
That is a Frisbee. That's what we feed the stray cats with.
That's not a stray cat. That's a squirrel.
We don't feed the cats Frisbees. We put food in the Frisbee. Anywho's.
So you have a squirrel eating out of the cat food.
Kind of, yes. Well, sort of. Here's what happened. We had some leftover, just a small amount of cheesy pasta with meat in it. And it wasn't enough to make a meal out of it. And my brother-in-law had left it sitting in his room overnight. So the next day, I just put it out.
In his room overnight. Give it to the animals. They'll eat it. They'll eat anything.
The wild ones, because we also have a possum that comes and eats stuff, and raccoon, and they literally do eat anything. So I put it out there, and I kid you not, that wasn't out there for more than 5 minutes, and that squirrel came and ate all the pasta.
That's awesome. He didn't look Italian.
I know. If you look really, really close, let's see. You don't see the mouse, do you?
There's a mouse?
No, my computer mouse. I don't think you can see it on our screens. But anyway,
no, I can't see the arrow on the screen.
If you look really close, there's a little bit of white between his paw and his mouth, and that's what's left of a piece of penny pasta.
Wow. Oh, who knows squirrels like pasta?
I know. Freaked me out.
Is he gluten-free?
So, but yeah, I thought it was kind of cute.
That is funny. Uh-oh. Now you're drinking and choking. That's never a good thing.
Nah.
Right. So the other thing that we were going to talk about, besides you drinking and choking, was my studio setup.
Yes.
So this is the part where I mess up my camera. And I bring it around here. And I show you there's the boxes of me still unpacking the wires and everything. However, I'm going to redo that. But that's my mixer board and my amp and all that good stuff there. Now we're going to get the really cool thing where it starts going in infinity here. So we go this way. There's the infinity monitor with Scott. There's our timer, show timer going off, which Scott has a show timer now.
Yes, but mine's my cell phone.
Oh, you turn your cell phone on. And then that got all of our show notes on it, but it's too washed out. You can't see it.
Correct.
And then if you go this way, whoops, and you keep turning, there is my computer.
Well, it's called the CPU.
That's my computer. That does not compute. That's, oops. Oh, Jesus. Okay. Well, that didn't work.
That looks like another CPU.
Okay. I spilled
water. Keyboard.
Spilled water. Oopsie.
Steve, you're not supposed to pee in the show.
Spilled my drinks. But yeah, so that's going to be my other table over there. And then if you keep going around the room, that's where the printer is going to be. That's the more desk stuff out in the hallway. But it kind of gives you an idea of the basic layout here.
See, we just got a 360 view. Just like if you were in a real estate thing.
Yeah, not quite 360, but that's pretty close. But bump that a little bit. There we go.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
So there you go. So now you got to see what I talked about. Oh, I can't believe I spilled that. It just pulled it right over.
Steve, I can believe it.
I know the desk is level because it actually didn't pour off the edges. So how cool is that?
If you were in my house, it might go in 3 different directions.
I have a towel.
The original part of my house is over 100 years old.
The original part of your house is over 100 years old?
Yes.
What part is that? The foundation?
The kitchen and what is technically the master bedroom and bathroom is the main part of the original house.
And what was it 100 years ago? Was it a farmhouse? Was it
It was actually
a brothel? It was a brothel?
No, it was a general store.
I like my story better.
Yes. And technically, it wasn't a complete store. It was a stopover store between the train depot in Harvard and Delavan. This is the midway point. There is a 250-year-old oak tree in our front yard that is actually on a national registry for something or another. And,
really?
Yeah, they used to have they did some trading with the Indians and stuff like that here.
How do they know it's 250 years old?
Because it's been in history, and even they've got pictures of it from the late 1800s.
They didn't have cameras back then.
Yes, they did.
How long has the United States been the United States?
Since the early 1800s.
And they had cameras 250 years ago?
No. I said the late 1800s is when this was built.
You want to take
at that point, they had estimated because of the girth of the tree at that point that it was already over 100 years old.
Oh. So I was right.
So they don't have obviously pictures of it from 200 years ago, but
yeah, that's what I asked.
100 years ago, it was already big enough.
How old it is? They're estimating it to be.
Yes,
we can cut it down and find out.
At some point, that will happen because it is getting to the point where it is having issues. But they figure it's still probably got another good 10 years in it.
Yeah. Wow. Take another drink there.
Thing went in the wrong area.
Do you need to take a break?
No, I'll be all right.
You need to dial 911? So you own a grocery store. You own a 250-year-old tree. And that's not enough for you. You had to buy more property.
Well, actually, I bought the property quite a while ago. I've had it for 5 or 6 years already. It's what I'm doing different to it.
Well, what have you been doing with it up to this point?
Well, originally it has the 2 houses that we rent out. That's rental income. And then I had a big barn and a giant pole barn. And I was renting the giant pole barn out. And I had rented the lower part of the big barn out just for rental income. So it's rental property.
Are you still getting rental on the houses?
Yes.
Oh, cool. Well, good for you. So what are you going to do with the barn then?
Well, originally we had already cleaned most of it up, but we were going to make it even better and put some electricity in there, and we were going to rent it out as storage, boat storage, ATV storage, stuff like that, because this area is big for that.
Sure.
But my renter came up to me. One of my renters came up to me and said, "Hey, my son would love to use your barn for his wedding because he had a party at our place a couple years ago out in the back, and they just loved it because it's out in the country, you know." So they could crank up the tunes till midnight and nobody's going to care.
Yeah, the neighbors aren't knocking on their, excuse me.
Or hitting your floor from the room below you with a broom handle. Knock it off! So he goes, he'd love to do that. And, he's a contractor. Because, you said you wanted to do some stuff to it. If you've got a little slightly bigger dreams, maybe we could turn this into a natural wedding barn. And I looked into it, and I was dumbfounded by the amount of money wedding barn places are getting per night to rent the barn. And all it comes is with the barn and the tables in it. And they're getting $6,000 freaking dollars a night. I'm like,
no catering? No catering for that? Just the venue?
That's just the venue.
Wow.
Yes. So now granted, so these places are slightly bigger, and they really, they spent $500,000 building these places.
Sure. But still, even if you get part of that, and
I'm figuring $4,000.
$4 to $5,000. Let's say $5,000. You get it Friday, Saturday night. That's $10,000 a week.
Yep.
52.
It'll pay for itself in 2 years.
52 weeks in a year. Well, you say you don't do a lot in the winter there.
No, shoot, no. I'm anticipating probably at least the first couple of years not getting more than 3 a month between
3 a month. Still good.
May through October.
That's still pretty good.
But this is my new. Well, it's not really my new because I've been working on this for 2 years now. But it's my retirement plan.
Your latest and current
Yeah.
branding for Funguy STE Entertainment Production.
Nope, it's STE Properties.
Oh, STE Properties. Cool. So the plan is to have this done by
August, because that's when he's getting married.
okay.
He's building it for himself. He's giving me a hellacious deal. I mean, I'm
Cool.
paying more money than I ever would have wanted to spend on this. But at the bridal show that we had last week, I just casually, because I don't have a name for it yet, which is what I wanted to talk about tonight.
That's where we're going.
I have no, just casually mentioning that by this fall, I'm planning on having a wedding barn venue. And most of these people were planning for 2020. And they're like, is it going to be ready by 2020 for sure? I said, well, it's supposed to be ready by August of 2019. So by how much? I'm going to say probably 30% of the brides that came up to me are looking for wedding barns. So
that's awesome.
This may actually work for like, yay!
So I can get Kevin Bacon to come there and he can go into being, let's dance, throw up the confetti, right?
Sure. Why not?
Yeah. Because that wasn't really a barn. It was a feed barn.
Yeah.
It was a feed place where they're processing feed. So,
well, this used to be a veal calf barn, believe it or not. And the upstairs area where the dancing is going to be used to be, of course, the hayloft.
So you're going to call it. So you're going to call it the Footloose Wedding Barn Venue. Named by Steve Allen.
First thoughts were Wizard's Keep, because as you know, I'm also a reverend, so I can marry people.
You're irreverent?
I'm a reverend. No, I'm not. Well, yes, I am irreverent sometimes. But
he's listening. He heard me, folks. Scott actually listened to me.
Down in just over the border in Illinois and Harvard, there is a castle that they use for like a bed and breakfast for wedding parties to stay at. So as a reverend, I was going to put on top of the silo, I was going to build a chapel. And I was going to call that Wizard's Keep. And I would be like the medieval times. I'm the wizard. I perform the ceremony. And then they can stay at the place in Harvard at the castle.
The wedding barn at Wizard's Keep.
Yes. Doesn't that sound cool?
I like it that way. When you first presented it to me,
I said Wizard's Keep and wedding barn.
You didn't say it that way, but it could be the wedding barn at Wizard's Keep.
Yes. See, now that's actually good. That's the first good one I've heard. So
that I like better than the Wizard's Keep wedding barn. I think that's how you presented it the first time I heard it. And I was like,
probably.
What? Like what?
The wedding barn at Wizard's Keep. Yes.
Yeah.
All right. I was going to say, all right, folks. Actually, I'll still do that because
we can still do that.
But I'm falling in love with it really, really quickly. So
you come up with something better.
Yeah.
Or something different.
Anybody who comes up with any ideas for the name of this venue,
come and guest and be a guest DJ with Scott.
Comment on the show, what you think it should be. I'll give you a little bit more background. I'm also
you got to get some pictures of this so we can see it too.
Yes. I'm also trying to see if I could buy a couple more acres of land next to me because it's all farmland. And I'd like to put in either grapevines so I could do a winery or apple trees because
orchards?
An orchard. Because both of those work well around here.
Yeah. No, definitely. So what are the other things that you had told me that you were going to do, which I thought was great, which is going to segue into what I just bought, what my wife just bought for the house. You told me that you are going around and you are buying old estates type stuff,
yes.
collectibles.
I came across an online auction service, not eBay, but a local one in Beloit, which is only 25 minutes away from here. And it's hard to explain. When I first went in there is because I was looking for old tools because with the buses, I need tools. The problem is I use it once or twice a year. So spending $80 for a tool that you use once or twice a year is a lot of money. So I had seen this auction had popped up. They had a couple of kinds of tools I was looking at. Unfortunately, everything went up higher than I really wanted to spend. But I got on their list, their mailing list. And so I started just checking it out. And I realized that some of the stuff they were auctioning off was from estates that were, from people 90 years old that had passed away. And some of the stuff is really cool. I mean, really, really cool. So what I'm going to do is a lot of it's artwork and knickknacks and antique stuff. I'm going to use it as the decor round on the inside of the barn as part of the venue. Every piece will be for sale, of course, at a profit. I'm not stupid. And it'll serve two purposes. If somebody buys something, I put something new up there, so it's going to constantly change. Nothing will get stagnant in that place.
That'd be cool.
I'm loving it. I mean,
it's a great idea.
A few things and showing you what they look like. I mean, I picked up an honest-to-God oil painting from 100 years ago.
Again, do you have a picture from 100 years ago to show that it's 100 years old, like your tree? Or did somebody just estimate it to be 100 years?
They just estimated it, but I can show it to you right. I'll just walk right over there and get it and show it to you.
Should we cut it in half and see? Count the rings? Go get it. You go get it. And I'm going to tell everybody about my wife, who's awesome, went estate sales. She was going to check garage sales because we want new dressers for our new house and our new master bedroom. Well, that's pretty good. Is that the barn at Wizard's Keep?
It is not. It's just a cabin out in the woods. But you can see on the background here the original canvas.
Yeah, it's stretched.
And it is really old.
Yeah, at least 100 years.
So it's pretty cool.
It is pretty cool.
It's
well, sit back down so we can see it. Put it down. Sit back down. Is it signed by the? Is it autographed? Is it signed by the artist?
There's J. Cyril or something like that. Hoffman. J. Cyril Hoffman, maybe. But as long as I'm up, you know what else I'm going to do?
No, go to the bathroom?
No. No. Just grabbed another tea while I was at it. Thank goodness for refrigerators.
Yep, that's what they say. But so Peggy, I was telling everybody, wants dressers for our master.
Okay.
Because we've always had big closets and we had shelving in the closets. Well, now that we've got a smaller closet, we now need dressers. So she went and she found a really, really cool estate sale. And the big dresser was just way too big and too heavy, but it was real wood, real wood. And she picked up I don't even know what to call it. I think it's a 5-drawer dresser.
Here, Steve.
But, yeah, exactly.
Oh, you can't see it.
A 5-drawer dresser. But yeah, all wood, really nice. And she gave it to me. It's got a mirror on it and a door on one side with 3 shelves on one side and then 4 drawers and then one big drawer across the bottom. And it's got a jewelry drawer on the top and it's got a hidden door on the side to hang your neckties. It's very, very cool.
Now, the only thing I see missing there is your armoire.
No, we don't need an armoire. But yeah, so that's what she's doing. I'm like, wow, this is a great estate sale. If we find more of these, we might get new couches. Get rid of those. Because she got on a screaming deal. $70.
I know. It's amazing, isn't it?
Okay. My kids just got 2 new dressers. Dakota got one from IKEA. It was like $300 or $400. And then my daughter got one from Walmart, $200. And they're the ones you got to put together. Mine came put together real wood with all the ornate stuff and the mirrors and the $70. I'm like, we got the deal.
No kidding.
But here's something I did not know. Did you know that you could return your stuff to IKEA if you hang on to the receipt for up to 1 year?
I did not know that. That's impressive.
Even if it's scratched or damaged, you don't want it, just take it back and they'll take it back.
Wow.
Yeah, that's what I said.
Bizarre.
That is bizarre. All right, so where are we at on the subject board here?
Well, we either go to our genuine positivity message or we continue talking about stuff that we bought.
Well, we're reviewing.
We better go to the message.
Got our genuine positivity message, and it looks like somebody we know actually wrote this one.
Yes.
Funguy The Entertainer wrote our genuine positivity message. Let's hear it, Scott. What's our genuine positivity message?
Only you can prevent foot and mouth disease. Wash your feet daily.
And wash your mouth out with soap.
I decided to have kind of a goofy positive message this week. I kind of did Only You Can Prevent Forest Fires theme, but I ran into a situation where somebody was trying to be funny, and all they kept doing was putting their foot in their mouth. And I'm like, I remember when I was first starting out in the entertainment world, and not all my jokes work, and that's what it's like. It's like putting your foot in your mouth. So a mentor told me at one point, says, there's no way you'll ever be able to stop putting your foot in your mouth if you're trying to be an entertainer. You'll do it till the day you die. Just wash your feet daily. And I found it stuck, so I mixed it together.
There you go. I like it. So we're coming towards the end of the show before we get to our phrase origin story. And there were 2 people who passed away. 3? Who's the third?
Michael Vincent.
Well, okay. Well, so did Luke Perry.
Oh, that's right.
90210. But the 2 I'm talking about are 2 magicians.
Oh, yeah. And one of them was heavy in Vegas.
Johnny Thompson was heavy everywhere. And so was Marshall Brodien. Marshall Brodien is heavy in the Midwest. So Johnny Thompson, great guy, actually saw one of the tricks that he invented last night at Mike Hammer.
He did not invent it last night.
No, but he invented it, and Mike Hammer, and Mike Hammer performed it last night.
Okay.
So yeah, something like that. There you go. But and he was also the technical advisor for Penn and Teller. So Johnny
Wasn't
Thompson,
he known as Thomasoni or Tomasini or something like that?
The great
Tomasini.
Why do you ask and then not know?
Because I sort of remember that, because he was and his wife, I think, did the show, and he was Polish, and she was like a smart alecky gum chewing.
Great Tomasini. That's what it was.
Yeah, I was right.
Yeah, no, you were right. Yeah, his wife Pamela Hayes. But yeah. Where's the name? Why can't? Yeah, the great Tom Sony.
Tom Sony.
The great Tom Sony. Yeah, but he's worked for Chris Angel, Penn and Teller. It's just crazy.
Well, the one that should get people freaked out is Marshall Brodien.
Well, here's the worst part. On February 25th, he collapsed during rehearsal of Fool Us. Now, if you remember, I just went and saw the taping of Fool Us.
Yes.
So, yeah. So he wasn't there, and I knew he was out. But, yeah, so he collapsed. Then we went and saw the taping, and then passed away on March 9th. So, yeah. The great Tom Sony, the great Tonsoni and Company, the great Tonsoni and Company, the great Tonsoni, the Wizard of Warsaw. But then Marshall Brodien.
He was the actual wizard.
Marshall Brodien was Wizzo.
Wizzo the Wizard on Bozo. I remember him.
Yep. So how crazy is that? Marshall Brodien actually got his start at Riverview as a magician. He was a magician back at Riverview at 16. Wow.
Yeah, that's a long time ago.
Marshall Brodien had the Marshall Brodien deck of cards and the TV magic cards. Those are Marshall Brodien's TV magic cards.
Yep.
The Svengali deck. But
when he first started, they probably figured he was a young Turk.
Unbelievable. Why do you think young Turks are is that a phrase origin story? Yeah, it is a phrase origin story.
I got one to go in, and you caught it for a change.
Oh, no, I caught it. I was just trying to figure out where I've heard young Turks also used.
Well, it means a young person full of new ideas and impatient for change.
Impatient for change.
Yes.
I'm just impatient.
Yeah, but both the 2 magicians you're talking about were noted in their field as creating entirely new effects.
Yep, and been doing it forever.
Yep.
They're actually 250 years old, and they have pictures of them when they were 250 years ago.
Especially back when they were, still stuck in their gene lamps.
Well, enough of that nonsense, and I want to say thank you for watching.
And if you feel the show is not a bad life decision,
then please subscribe, watch our other shows and channels. Go to whathappened.world. Go down there, go to that link. It's .world, folks. Go get it. Join us on Facebook. Join us on Instagram. Join us on our social media. Send us messages. Go to iTunes and Google Play. Look for whathappened.world for the podcast. Find Funguy The Entertainer cooks for you. Get all those things. Share, so that everybody knows and can escape for a little while. So with that, I want you to live every day, and we'll see you at the next show.
Be genuinely positive, live and love life, and have a good one.
Crazy, but you still amaze me.